Alright, hi guys. Okay, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I think that's what they say. If you are a follower, subscriber, whatever, welcome back. Thank you for following. I have made this huge promise to post a video every Thursday at 4 p.m. and today is Thursday and it is 3:27 p.m. So I'm gonna go with maybe this is gonna be done at 5 or 6 o'clock. But yeah, let's dive in.
I said keep on, keep on, keep on, yeah. Keep moving, oh keep moving, keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on moving, keep on, oh there's nothing to it, keep on, keep on, keep on, keep moving.
Alright, so I'm going to talk about a lot of different stuff on my YouTube, kind of like I do on my Instagram, because I'm not just a mom, I'm not just a young woman, I'm not just a single mom, I'm a lot of things, and I want to kind of encompass everything that I do and kind of touch all of my followers, because that's always been a goal of mine, is no matter who you are, what walk of life you're in, you can relate to something that I have to say. This particular video, I'm starting this series called Single Mama Sit Down, and so this is going to be number 1 of Single Mama Sit Down, and there's probably going to be like 75 million because there are so many things I can talk about as a single mom. But this particular video is going to tap into how I became a single mom and kind of that story. So here we go. So Max's dad and I dated for like 4-5 years. I don't know, I think it was like 4 years when we found out that I was pregnant. I was living in Switzerland at the time, and I didn't really think about the fact that like I was late or anything like that because I was traveling, and I was like so skinny back then that my body just kind of did that when I was traveling and dealing with time change, so I didn't think much of it. And I had a little girl come up to me and touch my belly, and this girl spoke, I mean, maybe 5 words of English, touched my belly, and she said, "Baby." And I was like, no, there's no baby in there. Like, that's so cute. There's, maybe there's a baby in there. And I remember thinking, like, could it be? Like, I don't know. Like, okay, we'll see. So I went to the Swiss drugstore and bought a pregnancy test, which if you've ever been to Switzerland, you know that it is so expensive. I bought a pregnancy test at like 15 francs a pop, which is like 16 bucks. Took it, it was positive. I was, what, 21, 22, and I was 22. And I was like, this is not happening, this is not happening, this is not happening. I've been drinking for 3 months. Like, I have not been taking care of myself. I need to take more tests. So I went back and bought 4 more and took all 4. That was like $100 at that point. But I was just so surprised and in shock that I had to take that many. So first thing I did was freak out, first of all. And the second thing I did was text Max's dad and tell him. Well, I said, do you have a minute to talk? And he was at work and he could tell something was wrong, and he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, I am. And he's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do about it? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I went back and forth, like, do I get an abortion? Do I keep the baby? Like, I don't know. I'm 22, about to move to a new state to work my dream job. You know, like, what do I do? And so, to be completely transparent, I did consider abortion. I went, well, I tried to go to 3 different countries, and all of them, it wasn't happening. It was illegal in one country. I tried to go to France, and then the Nice attacks happened. I tried to go to Germany, and that didn't work. And so it was just not, it was not a thing. Like, it wasn't gonna happen. This was, you know, and maybe it was God, maybe it was fate, maybe it was just me knowing that it just wasn't meant to be. This baby was meant to be mine. And so I decided to keep the baby, and he told me, you know, well, it's either we break up and you keep this baby, or you get an abortion and we can remain dating. And I said, no, see you later. I was told that my chances of having babies were slim because of some abuse that I had like done on my body earlier in my life. And I said, you know, like, I'm sorry, but this is what I have to do. You can be involved or you don't have to be involved. It's completely up to you. There were a lot of really terrible things said that I don't really need to bring up. But basically he was like, I want to have a baby with someone I love, and that's not you. keep in mind we dated for 4 years, so that was really hard to swallow, but I did. And he was ready to sign away his rights, pretty much all the way up until like I was maybe like 6 months pregnant. He started dating some girl. She was terrible. That's regardless. And I first knew that like he was starting to come around when he started like asking me how I was feeling and all that stuff. I never really knew if it was genuine, but I trusted it. And then I was admitted to the hospital at 23 weeks with preterm labor. And it happened to be the same day that he was taking his new girlfriend to New York City. And I said, okay, well, your baby could be born and I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I would really like for you to be there, blah, blah, blah. To which she obviously did not come, but not surprised. So long story short, Max was not born at 23 weeks. He did cook all the way until the day before his due date, or before my induction date. My induction date was the day before his due date, and he came that day. So, you know, a lot of people ask, you know, like, have you guys tried to work it out? Like, blah, blah, blah. And the answer is yes. The long answer is 75 minutes. But the short answer is yeah, we've tried to work it out. And I think that too much has happened. And for us, we had to make the decision, you know, just to be separate and to co-parent the best that we can. I would so much rather have Max have two loving parents that love and adore him and are friends with each other, than have Max with two parents that are married and hate each other, or fight all the time, because I feel like my parents fought a lot growing up and I hated seeing it. So I can't imagine putting Max through that. And I know that whoever I do end up marrying one day will fight too, but it's just a different kind of fighting, and it was a toxic relationship. We weren't good for each other. And you know, it's definitely been a really hard pill to swallow. It's taken a lot of time to feel good about it and be happy and content with my life. I mean, it took 2 years till I went on my first date. You know, it was really hard to get back in there. And as a young single mom, it's weird. You know, you're navigating being a young adult, but then you're also, you know, surrounded by moms, and it's a weird community, which is kind of why I started this channel and my blog and my Instagram, because I wanted other young single moms and young moms in general to connect with each other, just because there's so much differences that, you know, have passed in the times that our parents have had kids and that we've had kids. It's just not really relevant to each other anymore. And so when I found out that there was such a community for this, or a need for a community like this, I kind of went all in and just put my heart out there, and I feel like I've had great response. It's been really scary at times, and sometimes I've regretted things that I said, but mostly I've gotten all positive feedback. And you know, if I can help 5, 6, 10 single moms, I'll feel like I'm doing a good job. You know, even if I can just help one person, all like that one negative message that comes in is wiped out by millions and thousands of whatever positive messages. And to me, that's so much more important. You know, I do think it's quality over quantity. And I will always, no matter how many followers, subscribers, whatever I have, I'm always going to be true and honest and raw with you guys, because I think that a lot of the internet isn't like that. And I think if we were all open and honest with each other, there would probably be a lot less conflict. So yeah, next video I'm going to talk about being a single mom, and a young single mom in the 21st century in 2019, and kind of how I deal with that and all that stuff. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, share the video if you want, because without you guys, I just stay in my own little box. And it's big, but it's not that big. So without you guys, I can't grow. For those of you that already do those things, thank you so much. It means a ton. And you guys, Max comes back in, what's the date? The 3rd, 5, 6, 7, 4 days. Max comes back in 4 days. And that's when the good content comes, because I know you're all here for Max, if we're being honest. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. I'm going to get this up on Thursday, I swear. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!
I said keep on